show you all my secrets. I bet you won't believe it. We won't be going home. Welcome to my soundscape. It's a perfect escape. Just tell your friends to be there. We won't be going home. Na 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 na.
Welcome everybody, welcome, happy Friday, amazing and beautiful people. Welcome to the Friday Live Agile. Smash the like button right now to help me beat the algorithm of YouTube and Rumble. You could always watch on Saturday and Sunday the rewatch on my Rumble channel, link are in the description. I hope you're doing well. And today, yes, we're gonna awake and agilize with Coach F once again. 5 people on LinkedIn already. I'm get the new monitor to monitor it. It's so agile to say that. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope everyone is doing well, as I am, despite the empathy that we have and we should have for our brothers and sisters all around the world. All human are important. I am supportive of everyone. I'm not taking side. The power of agnostic for the human interaction is this. Yes, the music, it's Armin van Buuren soundscape that we are listening to open this show. That's going to be, again, their subject about decentralized agility. And who is John Galt? Oh my God. Who is John Galt? Soundscapes. How are you doing, people? Beautiful and amazing people. I'm Coach F. Awake and agile. And awake and agilize. I'm so glad. And I know 75% of you who are watching it right now, or even later, are not subscribed. So subscribe and hit the bell because right now I'm at this to be 500 on YouTube. I need more people on Rumble and LinkedIn and Twitter. I don't care. I'm here because I'd like to be everywhere. But to tell you the truth, is it okay? Yes. Okay. Perfect. There was a very bizarre feedback all of a sudden. So please tell me in the chat, wherever you are. Are you on LinkedIn? Are you on Twitter? Are you on YouTube on this beautiful Friday, March the 11th? I'm sorry about this, guys. So people, I see there's 25 people watching right now. So please tell me. On this beautiful Friday. Sorry for the feedback, because I had an alert on my studio that the sound was off. I'm sorry about this, guys. All right, so we're here. But again, the 25 people who's watching, please interact with me. Please be agile and tell me if something's go wrong because, yeah. And if you'd like to know more about Coach AF, my workshop that's coming back and everything, you could go to my website at agilelounge.com, as it's put in it now, and you will have a lot of things to discover and to see if we could do a business together. So today, perfect, we're here. So a lot of people are wondering, where are you going with this? Where are you going with who is John Galt? And I ask, of course, again, the LinkedIn community to come up with something. And by the way, LinkedIn, I discover a way to see your chat. So I see that among the 25 people who's watching right now, there's about 5 people on LinkedIn. So I might be able to see your chat live from my iPad. Let's do this experiment. Are you with me? Let's be empirical. So if you're there, say hello at least or something. No, I just see Anna's posting things. Anyways, so of course it's not ask me anything today. So I won't necessarily, I will be focused to my audience right now, this Friday, March 11th. And remember to move your clock to daylight saving time. I use smelling the spring. And speaking of spring, let me go right away before into the core of the topic of this Friday Live Agile number 57 and bring me to 500 this weekend. This is your mission. This is your sprint goal. I'm at 495 right now. So let me reach 500 because a year ago, almost today from Cancun, I had said that bring me to 500 for my road to 1,000. It's not a quantity that counts again, but more we reach people, more we will have interaction with people, more it's going to be nice for this evolution over transformation of the agility mindset. So please, I'm doing it from my passion of transforming the world of work and even beyond with next level agility that I am building. Yes, Coach Sabine, I'm using your 90-day Scrum, and I'd like to use your 90-day Scrum and to my personal and professional development, not just for writing my book on next level agility, but on everything else. So let's talk about the good thing. The good thing, coming back in Montreal, coming back with a spring feeling, and things are reopening right now, but that will be a subject for another discussion. So let's see right now what's going to happen very soon. So we just did the announcement, and thank you very much, Anna and Elizabeth, for the flyers, for everything, for the coordination with my 4 panelists. Yes. Let me show it right now. I'm so happy about it, and I can't wait to actually welcome you to the Scrum Beer number 16, the first Scrum Beer ever. You probably see it on screen right now. Scrum Beer number 16. We started in November 2018. We gather people into a new way of gathering people for those passionista of Agile, Scrum, Lean, DevOps, and everything. So let's see it now. So the event is officially launched. Here it is. I hope that this screen sharing will be a complete screen sharing. So if not, we're going to be in deep trouble. And this is a user experience exploration I do right now with whatchamacallit, Melon app. I love Melon app. It's easy to understand, but let's see now. I'm looking at my screen. Are we in the event? It doesn't pop up, huh? Yes, it is. It's just a delay. Okay, so as you could see now, I've got my 4 panelists. One of my dream come true. We're gonna practice it. Open mic podcast live from the Devil Diner Bar, one of my favorite places in Montreal downtown on Stanley Streets at 1425 Stanley Streets. And already the mailing went out this morning at 7 o'clock Eastern time, and I already have 3 people who took the reservation for the in-person event. Amazing. You are amazing. I think it's time we gather together again in person and with respect of everyone. How could I call it? Everyone boundaries. That's why we decided to do 2 experiences. It's a double event. It's kind of a double event. You have a podcast that will be live from the Devil Diner Bars. And of course, most of my guests, the great Sue Year, business agility coach from New York, Manhattan, Daniel Mezik from a non-disclosed location in Connecticut, United States, the Scrum Giant, I call him, Antonio M.K. Singleton from, I think, San Francisco, my friend, a great Scrum Agile coach, educator. And we have also from Boston, Massachusetts, Jim Verkis, a great innovator. He's more than an agile guy like us. I'm discovering him and I love it. And I think having those 4 amazing people, the giants of Scrum and agility and innovation, to talk about this very daring agile imposition, or are we in the age of imposition and the tyranny of process framework, and why? And moreover, what could we do together to not being imposed agile, because agile, it's a beautiful thing, it's a beautiful mind. So we're gonna have this kind of virtual event. So starting 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, and remember we push the clock once, so I will have to verify on Meetup and Eventbrite if with the time change this weekend, everything is okay because last year, last year a lot of people came late or came too early. It was very bizarre because I understand, especially for the virtual part of the event, people are all around the world and it's not everywhere on the planet that we pass to daylight 7 times. So here's the problem. So if you're in North America and most part of South and Central America, that will be okay. But I know our friends in the Yucatan Peninsula and some places in Salvador and Costa Rica, they won't touch the clock. So be careful. Go to timezone.org and make sure, especially from this Sunday, that your time zone, for those who would like to join us for the live stream that will start at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. But Eastern Time will be EDT, okay? Because now I don't like it when they put UTC -4. That might become -5, I think, or I'm not sure. But just be careful because every year we learn. Even if we learn, I don't have any, unfortunately, I don't have any power on Eventbrite and on Meetup to make sure the clock is the proper time, especially with nowadays. It's not the entire world that changed the hour this weekend. So be very careful. We're going to do a check on Monday. We might have to update those events because it's by the way, take it as a retrospective and a product review, my friend at Meetup again, and at Eventbrite, because you should have a mechanism that these hours are adjusting when we advertise an event before the change of hours. So anyways, I'm digressing right now. Is it too much information? I don't think so. I think it's important that we share those kind of things. And so don't be shy. 7 people on LinkedIn now and 30 people all across the board. So please use the chat and comment. And I will greatly, with the delay of 30 seconds, come back to you on that. So we're going to have this virtual experience. The streaming is on our YouTube channel and LinkedIn. So we're going to create this weekend a LinkedIn event. It's another user experience issue that we try to solve the impediment. So as a good and great Scrum Master, I'll do it. But unfortunately, I was not able to actually create those links. And it was important for me on this Friday, March 11, and my team agrees that we push the mailing list to our 3,000 people on the mailing list and everywhere to invite you. And I'm glad that there's only 7 places left according to my last check, because this morning 3 people have already subscribed for the in-person event here. And that's amazing. So it will be very simple. If we resume it very lean and simple, this is going to be a 5:30 podcast with my guest here talking about age of imposition and agility and how we could do better, a better and smarter agile way of not being imposed, not imposing any framework process to any organization or team or individual. And then around 6:30-ish, I'm going to close the live streaming. So the virtual event will end then. And the people who will be with me at the table, off on camera, will be your choice. We're going to continue to drink and eat the delicious, amazing Southwestern United States mixed fusion Asian Italian food of the Devil Diner Bar that I love so much. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony. I will probably do a sound bites for my Instagram and tag you in this. Thank you to welcome us. Hopefully the 10 of us at this nice place on the balcony. For those who know the Devil, we're going to be on the balcony upstairs. I'm going to do the little podcast, very easy podcast with a mic, and we're going to discuss it. And then after we kick off the first in-person event in 2 years. Could you imagine? Of course, I did some in Tulum, but that's another story, as you may know. So let's see now if I'd like to test it. I'd like to show you that if you'd like to be in person, it's very important. So, all of the restrictions are down. I think you have to wear a mask still when you get in all the way to the table. And when you get your tickets, you download it into your phone or you print it. You print the PDF you receive by email. That's okay. But the guests, the hostess at the gate, you will have to probably say a word that we're going to send you by email, like a Scrum beer table or or Alexandre reservation, and she will bring you to the table after that. But there's nothing else as restriction. We could have fully capacity, maximum 10. Why? Is because there's an hockey game that night, I think, too. So they're really booked, and I'm happy for them. They are making money again. So, and I don't know, because not everyone maybe is ready to be in person. So I put it 10 because we're going to have a nice corner on the balcony for us, and that will be nice. So I think 10 max is enough. It's not about the regulation of what have you, pandemic. It's just about like making it happen slowly but surely. And of course, I hope we're going to have a lot of listener, because in the last 15 minutes of our conversation, we might do what we call a super chat IRL, exchanging with those who will watch live. And so 7th place now available. Do it fast here. Let's see if we could see it on screen right now. If I have to change the screen sharing, okay. So because I want you to see kind of a tutorial on how to actually get your in-person ticket. So when you arrive, oh my goodness, there's so many things. So is this working now? So when you arrive on the Eventbrite, so you register. It's free. Of course, the meal and drink, it's on your own. Okay, it's well described. And you can also give a tips to Anna, Elizabeth, Samuel, and myself as the Scrum Alliance and Scrum Beer Montreal volunteer. It's always appreciated to receive a tips, and it's helping us for the thing. So you see, 1 hour podcast live streams, Agile Age of and Position, with the panel of 4 giant of Scrum and Business Agility, 6:30, end of the virtual event, as I said, and gathering in person, beer and food at your own expense. It's a free event with your discretion tips to the Scrum Beer team volunteer. And of course, don't forget to tips your waiter when you get out, because that's the thing. And it's the devil, it's la voiture, the car, devil diner bar, not the devil, it's deville. So it's going to be very fun. I hope so. And so when you register, very easy. You take your 1 places. Okay, this is for 1 guest. Oh, it doesn't show on the anyways. And then after, you could pick a donation of $5, $10, $20, or $50. And once again, all the donation that I receive here from my YouTube streaming, my live streamings and everything, it's always shared within my team. Because it's a voluntary tips, so it's just to recognize that we did some kind of great work or not, what have you. And we actually do the same with every money that we receive by Bitcoins. The link are in the description of the YouTube and Rumble video if you'd like to give us PayPal me with fiat money, or Bitcoin Satoshi with our beautiful cold storage things. And I do a calculation, and sometimes this month for March, we decide that probably the Irish community of Pointe Saint-Charles, to help the family in needs, will receive part of our surplus donation, because we always agree to spread a couple of money, especially for my team. I don't take anything unless I have to. Sorry about that. Unless I have to change some equipment. So it's helping cutting the expense. That's why I'm doing it. But anyways, I'm not necessarily asking, but I like to give a bonus to Anna and Elizabeth that work their ass off to help me do a lot of things. So without further ado, today I'd like we answer the questions together. Who is John Galt? Do you know who is John Galt? Sometimes, often, frequently, maybe every time, I don't know. I feel that my agility journey was deeply inspired by Peter Drucker, passion, and all his innovative mind on customer centricity and objective-driven patterns that he had. And you know what? Peter Drucker was a great consultant and teacher in the 1950s, while Elvis Presley was on top of the billboard, and there were more women in computer programming than today as software programmer. No joke. Search by yourself and fact check me. You just have to Google woman in computer programming 1950s, and you'll see there were more women. And I'm not speaking about Soviet Union. I'm speaking about United States of America. Plus, Andy Rent, an amazing author, an amazing woman author. We're past women's days, the struggle of women's, the place of women's. I'm not doing any division, like I said at the beginning. All humans are important, but let's praise those who achieve, whatever the gender, whatever the ethnicity. Martin Luther King teach me one great thing. Colorblind, and let's be in real togetherness, a real inclusion in diversity. But Andy Rand wrote a book called Atlas Shrugged. Atlas, he had to shrug his shoulder, you know? Amazing book. I read it when I was doing my first bachelor in political science back in the day. So I read Margaret Atwood and Andy Rand, two amazing women, mixing fiction and reality. And I remember one evening in Midtown Manhattan, and I miss you so much, guys, too, in Midtown Manhattan, Hell's Kitchen. I was in a lounge, I think on 57th Streets, having a great conversation with a great fresh gin at end with Miguel Beadle, or Mike Beadle, for those who don't know his Mexican name, about the Agile Consortium putting people first, meaning clients and workers, without whom we will not have any businesses. So that was the code of Peter Drucker. If you don't take care of your workers, they won't take care of your client, and you won't have clients, so therefore you won't have businesses. So is Drucker's strategy of MBO. What is MBO? It's managed by objective. Is a detailed objective, while the OKR, objectives key result, details the objective and the task, the functionality that will help a team reach the objective. And most of the time, it's accompanied by an engagement of the owner of the business. And depending on the size of the business, you might have, especially at T-level, those who have an executive committee, those exec, they should be engaged in that sense. So when people tell me that, OKRs is in competition with MBO, wrong. They have to work together. It's like asking top down or bottom up. There's no top down or bottom up. It's all the way together. So the tactical approach with OKRs, objective key result, is built into any framework, while the MBOs managed by objective are typically focused on a higher level ambition of a shared vision to serve the client better, to make the experience with the product, the services, or the solution that you are promoting as a business. Everyone's agreed on it. Everyone engaged on it. That's why you work here. That's why you work with me, etc., etc. And that's why, as a client, you came back to us to get the services, whether it's professional services, whether it's technical things, a product itself, like a cup, clothing, anything, any industry, any size, anything. So tell me, do you believe we are that innovative 65 years later? Because all of that I described seems very innovative, very trendy right now, with all of these people who buzzword about whatchamacallit, the agile and lean and stuff, OKRs and blah blah blah. But all of these concepts, from managed by objective to OKRs to Kaizen and everything, and Toyotism, it's all 1950s and 1960s. It's been transferred in the 1980s and 90s into software, computer and software development. So, well, and now I would like to show you who is John Galt by himself, from the imagination, the Imaginarium of Andy Rand, the writer of Atlas Shrugged. So let's Let's do it together, shall we? I'd like you to listen to what John Galt has to say and how the evolution of business agility with the next level agility with the conscious leadership should bring us, back into one of the two fundamental of agility that we'll speak right after this 3-minute clips of meeting John Galt. So let's meet John Galt. Without further ado.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Thompson will not speak to you tonight. His time is up. For years you've asked, who is John Galt? You've asked that question in despair and resignation as factories closed, goods became scarce, jobs disappeared. Your lives are becoming more difficult as the life force of your world is draining away. You have asked that question without expecting an answer. I'm here to answer it. This is John Galt speaking. Mr. Thompson won't tell you the truth about the crisis in your world. I will. Have you noticed that as everything around you seems to decline, one thing still grows? It is the power of your rulers. None of their plans and directives have solved your problems or made your life better. The only result has been their increased control over you at the cost of your freedom. Do you know why? You gave them the power. They called for your sacrifice, and you thought it was noble. They said if you worked for yourself and your family, that you were selfish and uncaring, and they made you feel ashamed. They denounced the leaders of industry as greedy exploiters, the Ellis Wyatts, the Hank Reardons, and again, you agreed. And then you ask, why did they and others like them disappear? I took them from you. Their achievements flowed from their creative minds. Once they understood that the attempt to control their work was an attempt to control their minds, they left. The people on strike worked for themselves, for their own vision of what was possible. When they recognized the honor they deserved, they rebelled against the guilt you wanted them to feel for their success. You counted on them to keep producing, to keep thinking, even as you denounced them as selfish. I showed them they were being punished for their own virtues, and I showed them how evil that is. I made it my mission to help these heroes say no. All evil needs to win is the consent of good people. They have joined me to freely produce, trade, cooperate, and compete in a place where the rights of all are protected. Do not try to find us. Do not try to bargain for our return. Get out of our way. To everyone within the range of my voice, you now have a choice to make. If you decide to support the notion of sacrifice enforced by the state, your game is up. Your world is in a downward spiral, and you will ride it down to destruction. But if you share the values of our strike, if you believe that your life is a sacred possession for you to make the most of, if you want to live by the judgment of your own mind, not edicts from the state, then follow our lead. Do not support your own oppressors. Stop letting the system exploit you. Form your own communities on the frontiers of your crumbling world. Your rulers hold you by your endurance to carry the burdens they impose, by your generosity when you hear cries of despair, and above all, by your innocence which cannot grasp the depths of their evil. The world you are living in is the world they wanted. Leave them to it. Those who have left you are eager to build a better world, a world of freedom and opportunity, a world based on mutual respect. In that world, you will rise in the morning with the spirit you knew in childhood, the spirit of eagerness and adventure, and the confidence that the world is what it is and is there for you to discover. In that world, you will not receive alms, nor pity, nor forgiveness of sins, but honor, respect, and justice. Don't let the fire go out spark by irreplaceable spark in confusion and despair. Be sure of your path. The world you desire can be won. It exists. It is real. It is possible. It is yours.
Amazing. This is so inspiring. This is so speaking to me. Is it speaking to you? As a coach, as an enterprise agility coach, as a consultant, now apparently a senior consultant, I'm arriving at the end of the summer of my life. I find this fictive character from the book of Andy Rand, John Galt. He was an engineer who rebelled. I find that story, and especially that speech, that was written in between probably 1948 and 1952, at the exact same moment that Peter Drucker was drafting his management by objective that will give later birth to the objective key result, to put clarity in what the customer and how the customer should be treated with a great customer experience. A lot of people ask me, oh, you do bizarre link, you have bizarre content. It's not like the other coach who will talk to us about the Scrum artifact or the Scrum process. And yeah, I decided to create a Dare Real Agile podcast and this Friday Live Agile weekly show to express my passion, uncovering new ways and connecting the dot with a mix of culture, music, business thinker, thought leader, above and beyond the Agile movement. The Agile movement all across the world, but starting with Quebec. It's so boring for my taste that I needed to create this, to make the link with the anti-doxa, with what's happening in our governance, our civil governance, our constitution of Bill of Rights. All this, after 20 years of an Agile consortium, still not able to put the real innovation by putting evolution over transformation. In the private sector or the public sector, there's too many organizations and teams that are just doing like robot and zombie without understanding the power of Scrum, the power and the visualization of a great Kanban and flow of work. These are just topology. These are just words. And it's becoming boring when you see the massive book, blog, vlog, podcast. Everyone has something to say. Me included. I understand that. You might say, well, yeah, well, you're doing it. Yes, I'm doing it. But I try to do it into another perspective. To disrupt this consensus, this concentration of speech, of patterns, of ways, and to a kind of an egalitarian, woke, agile culture. I won't name anyone here because it's not the point. As we learn in Scrum, have courage to call out violation, but stop pointing finger at others. Look at you first. So one of my ways to improve and evolve in my professional journey, especially, but it's impacting all my life. I'm finishing this weekend the Mahat challenge. Mahat was a goddess from Ethiopia. A lot of people wrote to me after I did a kickoff of my 42 days challenge that's taking end right now with St. Patrick's. What does it have to do with business agility? All of those people who ask me that question, they're not able to connect the dot. They're not able to connect the dot, and I did connect the dot when I was revisiting the book of Andy Rand, At Last Shrouded, with this great persona John Galt, that he's inviting us to be more agile. He's inviting us to be lean. He's inviting us to put people first. This is the core of agility, the customer experience over anything else. Because again, if Peter Drucker remind us again, and Beadle remind me on the 57 streets one night, you don't have client, guys. You don't have business. Period. And it's nothing to do with competition or being more innovative and everything. But yes, you have to do with that. But what I'm saying is, in the context of the book, Andy Rand was his full name because I think she was from the ex-Soviet Union. She escaped, or her father escaped. Great story. So those who actually experience it could coach it not to fall into this tyranny. And amazingly enough, I'm linked in this today, Friday, March 11th, to the open mic, unscripted conversation we're going to have with Antonio, Jim, Sue, and Daniel at the Scrum Beer, that special event. We're going to talk about this age of imposition. Of course, since 2016, with the flagship of SAFe, who is not Agile, not even Scrum, I insist on it. I'm not saying it's good or bad, don't get me wrong, but as an agnostic purist, SAFe will never get you where John Galt, written by Andy Rand again, and where Peter Drucker wanted to bring a businesses for a fully smart and comprehensive customer experience. And in our context of evolving technology, the user experience. So it's the conflict between centralized planning or plan to follow in a central and consensual way versus a more decentralized, self-organized, based on the real need and desire to improve. You often see on the boring LinkedIn, that it's more linked out for me, these kind of picture for those who are in the network of user experience and customer experience of a paved way that goes around 2 trees and a bench to go to the sidewalk. And you saw in the green grass, dirt, and another road made by all those that find that to go to the sidewalk, it's a better way to pass across the trees and not go to the bench. Because maybe of velocity, because maybe of getting to the sidewalk faster. As my mother used to say, when we were entering the park back in the day, she asked me, "You'd like the long way and take your time because we have?" Or, I don't know, because she was telling me in French, but, or we cross. We cross. Instead of going straight, we go cross. So it's always depending on your objective, managed by objective key results. But the user experience is that those who design the path, with the paved path, they design it without taking in consideration that anyone that would like to go to the sidewalks will have preferred to have a paved way to protect the grass. Because now the funny thing is, many parks right now, they put like, oh, please respect the fauna and the flora and don't engage and stay in the road. Well, it's in position again. If I want to go into the side roads and explore, I am mature and adult enough, individually speaking, and with the people I surround myself. I remember why there's an HPI into my LinkedIn profile. It's for high potential individual. High potential individual connect the dots. Our potential individual needs to self-manage themselves. We are autonomous beings, and we'd like to surrender ourselves with smarter people than us. To evolve, not transform. Transform is more and more bullshit. You need to evolve. You need to evolution, next level. That's all the core of the next level agility that I'm building right now. More than a program, more than a book. There's going to be a state of mind. That's going to be a state of choice, a freedom of choice. The creation, as John Galt just told us, create community, bridge together, be self-sufficient. The core of agility, it's all about that. Is it what you see in your organization? When someone in a town hall will say, oh, this year we're having a plan to be more agile, and we're going to have the organization change management going to you with agile coaches and teach you coach and teach you agile and teach you lean systems and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And we're going to implement Scrum and SAFe and blah, blah, blah. And now you go into training, and then you go into certification and this and that. And it's a great industrial complex. Lots of money. Lots of money. But nobody knows exactly why you are doing it. Nobody told you. Nobody start with why. And this is why. When you sit down after dinner and after training and you watch a video on your favorite platform of a guy who was in marketing on Madison Street, who start to explain you the golden circle that he didn't invent. I'm talking, of course, about Sinek. I love Sinek, don't get me wrong. I've got his 2 books here. I read it when I used to take the Amtrak Adirondack train from Montreal downtown to downtown Manhattan. I prefer that to take a plane for 75 minutes, so 8 hours of homework, designing things and reading. And the Adirondacks is such a beautiful trail if you ever done that. So here's the thing, my friend, my agile people out there. Question more. Open your mind. Engage in conversation. Inspire yourself by something that calls into you, because that will be the best way, the very best way for you to be able to spark others. And if you try to consult and coach someone, whether it's an individual, a team, or an organization, do it frankly, with what you've learned first, with your own evolution. You will be the greatest consultant and coach if you do so. So that means that you might have to decline some coachee and some people to coach, because it is not in the range of what you have experienced before. Whether it's professional or personal level, I'm talking here. So when myself, I'm looking for a coach, I'm not necessarily looking for a like-minded person, but I'm looking, if I'd like to improve something in social network, I would like that person that showed me that the process or the way she will teach me, she experienced it herself or himself. So that way, I will value more experience over any academic or certification. Show me what you've done and the result of your doing, the fruit of your doing. And adapt your speech to me and my context, how I could apply it, how I could tailor it and apply it. And when I receive coaching like this, it's also the way I'm providing coaching to others. And, when people talked about word or vocabulary, whether you speak Spanish, French, English, or even other language, but I'm talking about those who are kind of master a bit. Word have a weight and it's important. There's a meaning to it. And I will help you also connect those dots. And if someone talked to you about scaling, Without knowing substantion, again, at the physics level, it's the atomic interaction of multiple elements that will create a kind of a action reaction, input output. So you could apply that model of physics into the human interaction of teams. All right. So when you observe it and they want a different outcome, this is where you engage and you help them see the big picture of substantion, that interaction that you have, and where are the pinpoint that you'd like to remove. You know, when I consult organizations sometimes, and I will ask them whether it's powerful question or close-ended questions. When there's too many buts, I note the buts, because all the buts they are telling me that they are willing to do it, or they are answering, yes, we do it, but all the buts are impediment. And as a coach, you have to help them find the right person at the right moment to remove that impediment, to make the way for a smarter process, to a smarter function, to a smarter interaction, to a smarter agreement, to get better fruit, a better return, whether it's return on investment, of funding, money, or all the time that people invest to make something happen, with or without money. So it's all about value creation. It's a value stream things. So who is John Galt? Is any of us who really like to not transform or change thyself and others, but really bring the proper fruit to the table and have dinner together. It's anyone who would like to unleash the power of creativity to be really innovative and making the experience we do and togetherness on this planet a lot more interesting. A great experience. This is how I see it. This is how I see this concept 60 years later of a mix of a fiction persona and John Galt engineer that started a strike and the fiction book of Andy Rand, and all the teaching of objective management and customer centricity, taught by Peter Drucker. That is, I think, and I'm sure some of my colleagues of Enterprise Scrum will agree with me, it's at the core of what is really business agility and civil agility, if we could change the governance. Because again, central plan, big states, big corporation, it is not the way for a smarter experience of our living on this planet Earth. Because I remind you again, when you are a high potential, when you are someone very autonomous and mature, you don't need to be regulated. You will self-regulate because you're smart enough to understand the importance that everyone's matter. Because every high potential individual and mature individual and responsible individual are, for a matter of fact, responsible, and moreover, they have this acuity of taking care and connecting the dot of everything, creating network with everything, and include everyone within that everything. This is my experience. This is the experience I have with other high potential individuals, with other John Galt. And that might be here a splinter in your mind of starting to have a solution against the age of imposition. Because, of course, on the 24th, it's unscripted. We're going to talk about it in an open space way with an open mic. The open mic is the podcast format of an open space, of a free, authentic conversation about this subject that might be tailored, of course, within our Agile movement or Agile consortium. But I'm always taking it above and beyond multiple layer. And it's interesting that since 2016, with the Agile Industrial Complex calling out by Martin Fowler, and very soon with Dave Thomas, two of the co-signatory of the Manifesto of 2001, and reprised by my late mentor, by Mizik, myself, others, that the last 5-6 years have been very counterproductive in the Agile movement. And it's become boring now to listen people to just doing, excuse my French, intellectual masturbation and to concepts, conceptualizing things, forgetting the empirical process, forgetting the discovery, listening, creating, co-creating, all that stuff. Anyway, I just discovered that whether the kind of network or practice you are in, whether your professional background is, you have to admit that in parallel of this age of imposition with the agile mindset that been too much often take as a methodology that we should enforce into our team and organization. Simultaneously, we have our Western democracy, our Western governance, falling slowly but unfortunately surely into another age of imposition. And the last 2 years of this pandemic shows us how fragile our institutions are. A lot of us knew it since probably even Bretton Woods, with the reconstruction and the dollarization of the world and what have you. Sorry. I spent 4 years in political science before doing astrophysics. I'm a kind of a weirdo, and I love it. I don't know if you could connect the same dot with me, but it seems that in the Western world, because I go in the East and South world sometimes, and that's another point of view. And I feel that I'm not born on the right side of the silver curtain. That being said, I'm moving away anyways. I'm making decision right now that will help me to be in a smarter and better element to continue this experience. Or I will apply some drastic device of some states in the United States. I won't go that far. On that, my beautiful people, my amazing people, decentralized agility, it's the key on individual, team, business, and governance level. Smaller the team, smaller the community is, better the agreement and the decision making is. More efficient it will be also to network with other smaller community or small teams to make things happen. We could have a shared vision because we share the same climate or share kind of the same original things and stuff, yes. But let's have this interaction. Let's have this communication going. This is the true democracy. It's not voting for representative. I could represent myself. I am sovereign. I am autonomous. I am mature. Let me do business with you, peer to peer. Let's interact together. Let's form a group of diverse skill set to achieve a specific objective or goal that might have us create a system better than any framework to achieve it, and decide if we have to keep it by putting it in place more permanently for what permanent means in a finite world of infinity. And having this mindset of, even if we put it in place, that it should evolve as we evolve, as we uncover new information, as we discover new element in everything, and as we include also the real inclusivity, new people in our community and our team. So that's kind of my goal for the next couple of years with my Next Level Agile book. I'm giving you some hint of my reflection. I'm sharing it with you with passion, with love. Let love free. Don't let fear stop you. So on that, I wish you an amazing and wonderful weekend. Remember to push your clock of 1 hour extra. And my team and I will make sure that Meetup and Eventbrite are giving the right time for the 24th. And to the 3 people who already get their in-person place, thank you so much. Can't wait to meet you. I don't know any of those persons. So it's 7 places as we speak now that are left for the Devil Bar on Thursday, March the 24th starting at 5:30 p.m. You could join us. But the first hours will be the podcast on this age of imposition. We're going to go further and we're going to try to see if the proposition from the fictive character of John Galt or anyone who are building right now Freedom Cells Network or the blockchain revolution are part of the solution to stop this imposition that use central plan and central planning. So I hope you liked it. If you liked it, please smash the like button, especially on YouTube and Rumble, and on LinkedIn. Share it to someone to spark their mind into real innovative mindset. I think I'm not praising myself. I'm like to co-create it with you. And as always, I hope you learned something. I hope in the comment below you're gonna tell me things for me to learn, also to improve. I'm really open to constructive criticism. If I did something bad, give me a thumbs down. That could happen, but tell me why though. Tell me why so I could improve. And on that, remember, you are wonderful. You are a powerful person. And moreover, you are free to become whoever you want it to be. Cheers, and see you next week with a St. Patrick special, but might be in French. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Stay tuned.